Hello everyone, semi-retired Bob here. I talk about the carnivore diet, all things related to the carnivore diet, and miscellaneous odds and ends. Today, we're going to talk about carnivore diet. How did I get overweight? Before we get started, I do want to say to those of you that have been following the channel and wishing me the best, thank you very much for all the great thoughts. I am feeling much better today. As you can hear on the roof, it's raining, and it's supposed to continue raining all the way through the day today and into the night tonight. It's supposed to get up to 65 today, only get down into the high 40s tonight, but then the cold blast is supposed to be here. It's supposed to get down to low teens, high single digits tomorrow night, which is supposed to be the coldest night of the week, and then it's only supposed to be a high of like 35 or so for Christmas Day, so I'm not looking forward to that. But considering it's minus 60 wind chill at home in Nebraska right now, I suppose I can take that. It's just not exactly what I was hoping for this time of year, but at least it's not awful like it is back home. I have a couple of bookkeeping things to take care of. I got a couple of cards, and I'll be putting their names in the ending credits, of course, but Donna sent me a Christmas card, and Sharon sent me a Christmas card. Thank you all very much. I'm a little late in thanking some people because I've been sick and haven't made videos very regularly in the last few days. And I got a couple of donations. Hyla over at Crafty and Carnivore sent me a little money for Christmas. Thank you very much. It means so much to me. And Allison, she signed it Allie. Thank you also for donating to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. I wish that rain would slack off just a little bit, just long enough for me to get this video made. But anyway, so how did I become overweight while eating a carnivore diet? First, we need to talk about the BMI scale for a minute. On an individual by individual basis, the BMI scale is not what you should be using for your own individual fitness or health or weight gauge, height, weight, however you want to say it, because it breaks down on the individual scale. If you look at somebody like Arnold Schwarzenegger, back when he was competing, he would have been considered overweight, if not obese, by the BMI scale, because all it looks at is your age, your height, and your weight. But it is a very useful tool when looking at a broad range of, say, like people in this county or people in this state or even people in this country or a certain population, like a white man 60 and older or whatever you're going to use. Applying it to a broad range of people, it can give you an okay idea of what's going on from one person, from one group to another group. But how I became overweight. Yes, I am now overweight. And you see me smiling about it. Why is that? Well, because for the last 3 decades, they keep changing the name of it to just obese now. It was severely obese, it was morbidly obese, lots of other terms that they deemed politically incorrect. But I've been obese for at least the last 3 decades, which means, according to the BMI scale, I've been more than 191 pounds for my weight, for my height. I've actually been, this is the first time I've been under 200 in decades. Actually, I think the lowest I remember, I can tell you for sure, I was about 250. 15 or 16 years ago, maybe 20 years ago. I don't know where time goes. well, I do know where it goes. It just keeps going by, and I'm getting older. But it was sometime in my 40s, early 40s, that I crested the 250 mark and have not been down below that since. And now I am well below 200 pounds because I am now overweight, not obese. How did I do that? Carnivore. I eat the carnivore diet. I primarily eat the lion diet. Have been fairly strict lion diet for the last 3 months. And lion diet, which is a subset of the carnivore diet, which is a subset of the ketogenic diet, which is a subset of the proper human diet. They're all in varying degrees. But, where was I? Wow, I just completely lost my train of thought. Another one of those things that comes from being old. But, yeah, I've been eating the lion diet, which is just ruminant meats. For me, that means beef, because beef is what I can afford. I would love to try some lamb. I would love to try some sheep. In fact, I've been starting to look at, not seriously, because it's still a couple of years at least off, maybe even more than that. But I actually wouldn't mind having a small piece of property where I could raise either a few goats or a few sheep or 3 or 4 cows to raise my own meat. But that might also be a lot more work than I'm capable of doing. I do not know for sure. Sorry, the camera tripod is sort of sitting on the laptop, and it was pushing on one of the keys, and my laptop was about to go stupid on me. But I don't want to shut it off because I'm getting a little backlight off of that too, so I like the screen being on behind the camera. But yeah, so mostly ruminant meats, salt, and water. That's all I eat. It's beef. I eat a lot of ground beef because I cannot afford to eat ribeye every day. Although due to the generosity of some of the donors to my channel, I do have a little bit better meat for this week. And it's now been extended on because I did eat last night finally. I had some stew meat because I didn't want a big pile of meat for my first big meal after being sick. But, and my belly does still hurt just a little bit, but it's more of an ache now instead of the stabbing, searing pain that I was having. So I'm definitely on the road to recovery. You can see I felt good enough this morning to get up. I cut my hair again, so that's done for another 2, 3, 4 months. Got myself cleaned up and shaved, and I actually think I look pretty good today. So that's how I became overweight. And when I say, you know, the whole spectrum of the proper human diet, we need to understand that my way is not the one true way. There is no one true way to proper human diet. Some people get by just fine with the old basic low-carb diet, which says 100 grams of carbs or less a day. I think that's probably going to be a lot too high for most people that are my age and older and are becoming metabolically unhealthy. You know, you may need to do the 50 carb a day low carb proper human diet, or turn it on down to where the ketogenic diet is about 20 carbs a day. And when I say 20 carbs a day, I'm not talking about going out and having a donut. I mean you're getting your carbs from whole, one ingredient foods. And that's what we eat on this diet, this way of eating, this way of life. Because it's not just a weight loss diet. It's a way of life to improve our overall health. There are people that will give you testimony about healing gut issues, skin issues, autoimmune disorders, arthritis, diabetes, fatty liver, chronic kidney disease. The list goes on and on and on. But the key to the proper human diet that's actually called keto is about 20 grams of carbs or less. And as Dr. Berry says, for some people that's going to work just fine. Others may need to turn that carbohydrate knob down a little bit more and go with about 10. That's what they have deemed or termed ketovore, where it's mostly carnivore, fatty meats, eggs, fish, organ meats, whatever, with just a little bit of nuts and berries and some veg thrown in here and there, about 10 carbs a day worth. And then there's the straight carnivore, where carnivore is still not as restrictive as lion diet, because on carnivore you can have, of course, all the red meat you want. You can have fish, you can have chicken, you can have pork. Some people tolerate dairy, some people don't, so you can have butter. Most everybody can tolerate butter or ghee, but some people can have some full-fat cheeses, some cream cheese. There's lots of things that you can have on a regular carnivore diet that most people sometimes don't think of when they're first starting out. Because when most people hear the word carnivore, their brain immediately goes to what I've been doing, but that's actually called the lion diet. And the lion diet is just ruminant meats, salt, and water. You don't have to go there, but some people do need to turn the carb knob down as low as they can go, as close to zero as you can get. A good elimination diet to start with is something that Dr. Berry calls beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. Basically all the beef, all the butter, all the bacon, and all the eggs you can stuff yourself silly with as often as you want until you just can't eat anymore. And believe it or not, you will lose weight doing that. I don't tolerate eggs very well anymore, which is what sort of led me to my lion diet experiment. I have been doing that now, like I said, for 2.5, 3 months. I don't remember exactly when I started going strict to just beef, but what was I going to say? Wow, this is terrible. Sorry about this, guys. I keep losing my train of thought. Must be because I haven't made a video in a couple of days again. But, I remember what I was going to say. Back before I switched to this, one of the primary dishes I was having that I didn't have any problem with then, and haven't tried it yet, so I don't know if I'd have any problems with it now or not. But I would have some andouille sausage cut up into little chunks, and just as they start to get a little bit on the crispy side, dump a big old bag of shrimp into them, add some butter and some garlic and some salt, and put a lid over it and let that steam up for 10-15 minutes till the shrimp are cooked. Oh yeah, that was really, really good. And I'm going to try that again here at some point, but not until I get the goal, which is still in about another 30 pounds. So I'm figuring sometime this summer I will begin trying to reintroduce foods one at a time. And that's the big thing. Regardless of what elimination diet you do, when you go to try and add things in, you want to make sure you add them in one food at a time and try it for at least a week. I recommend 2, so that you really have a chance to see if your body is going to react to it or not. Now, obviously, with the most recent bout I had with that bad barbecue that I got, and I don't know that the meat was bad, or there was a spice in it, or there was sugar in the vinegar-based barbecue. I don't know what it was, but something really tore me up inside, badly. Just like I said, I don't know what it was. I'm still, like I said, I still got a little bit of a belly ache, but not nearly as bad as it was. The only other side effect is I think, whatever it was, fed the bad bacteria that now isn't going away, as thoroughly as it once was. It will go away again, and my other bacteria will ramp up. But one of the things that I've noticed, well, last night and this morning, because I actually ate, it wasn't a huge amount. It was about 1.5 pounds of stew meat. But I had, let's just say, some bathroom issues. So I have made many trips inside the building during the night last night and again this morning, but that seems to have calmed down again. But we'll see. I'll let you know how it goes in tomorrow's video, which unfortunately is probably going to be, if I get out early enough before the cold front comes through and it stops raining, I'm going to try and get some walking in tomorrow, because it seems like I haven't walked in forever. I mean, it's really only been 6 days or so, but I really want to get out there and get in some walking. But I haven't just been sitting around the trailer. I've been doing stretches. I've been doing some exercises. The water jug, I think I've showed you guys this before in another video. My water jug that I carry water from inside the church with out to here. It's only 3 liters, so it's not super heavy, but it's enough that I can sit here and do some curls with it, just to work on my arm muscles just a little bit. I can't really do push-ups in here, but I can do a little bit of planking where I put my feet up underneath the table and my arms on the bed. But I've been doing a lot of stretching and leg lifts and just whatever kind of movement I can get inside the trailer, so that I'm not completely sedentary, because I believe sedentary is bad. So even if you get into one of those places where you can't do a whole lot, and there's not a lot of room to exercise when you live in a 5x10 cargo trailer, but I am getting some stuff done, and each day I'm exploring a little bit more of what I can get done. So, to recap everything here, I am suddenly overweight. Most people would be upset about being overweight, but me personally, I am so happy to finally be overweight instead of obese that it's just truly amazing. I want to say thank you to all of you that have joined in on the channel. You've watched this far, we might as well go ahead and subscribe, hit the like button, leave me a comment. That little bit of interaction, just liking and leaving a comment, tells YouTube that you liked this video and that they should probably share it out with more people. And that's really what our goal is here, is to get this message out to as many people as possible. I was morbidly obese for decades. Had arthritis, spinal stenosis, fatty liver, stage 1 chronic kidney disease, couldn't stand up for more than 2.5 minutes without pain. Some days couldn't even reach my feet to tie my shoes, couldn't reach my feet to put on socks. I had, type 2 diabetes that was out of control. I was starting to lose a little bit of feeling in my feet. This was the biggest, it was as close to a fist as I could make, and now my hands work fine. I couldn't raise this shoulder up very far. It still doesn't go all the way up yet, but it goes a lot higher than it used to. One of the things I showed on my live stream, let me see if I can, I don't have my belt on because I'm wearing a different pair of pants today. But I'll see if I can't find a picture of that and throw it in here somewhere, or maybe in tomorrow's video. But it has fixed so many things that we've got to get the word out. Everybody needs to know about this. It may not be for everybody. And again, I've talked about this in this video. There is no one size fits all, but at least get people to start considering getting off their carb addicted lifestyle and get into a more healthy way of eating, because contrary to what most medical practitioners will tell you today, the healthiest thing we can do for our bodies is what we put in it. You know, the old adage, you are what you eat. Well, turns out that's true, and no pharmaceutical can do for your body what putting proper food in it will do. And oh, by the way, I'm, now down, it was 123 and a half, almost 124 pounds. Yeah, that last little chunk came while I was sick. I don't recommend getting over your first goal in that way. That was a horrible way to get there, but I am there now, and even having eaten last night, and I've been drinking electrolyte water and more water and more water, a lot of water. I don't normally scale more than once a week, but I did jump back on this morning to make sure that I didn't put all of it back on by getting healthy again, and I'm still down. So I'm pretty happy with all of that. In another 25 or 30 pounds, I will be half the man I used to be, which makes me really happy. And if you go all the way back to before I was first, because I did lose a little bit when I was first diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. I want to say I was 360 pounds then. So I'm already half the man that guy used to be, but I want to be half the guy that started this journey. I know I'm not going to get there by the 1 year mark, because I'm just not. But it's coming. And you can get there too. There's no reason, even if you're skeptical about all of this, there's no reason not to try it for 30 days just to see how you feel. That's the biggest judge. If you think, oh, well, I've got this disease, or I've got that disease, or that can't possibly work for me. If you're at that stage, if you're at the point where I was 7 months ago, and you're basically just sitting around on the couch waiting for the next pill to come out, or waiting for the end of your life because you're just miserable every day, what's it going to hurt to give it a try? Just give it a try for 30 days and see what happens. See how you feel. And if you don't like it, don't keep going. But what is 30 days going to actually hurt versus all of the good that it might possibly do? So anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great day, everyone. Don't forget to get out there. Be 1% better today. Have a great day. I will see you tomorrow.